Hey you guys, this is Sean McCleary out of Naples, Florida, and I wanted to get a video out there to the public on YouTube. I'm an author, a writer, and I do extensive work in metaphysics. I've got a book out right now called Earth's Miracle Through the Paradigm Shift, which is available through Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, Books A Million, and other online retailers. It's available in paperback and ebook format. It describes the shift in consciousness which is happening. It has to do with planet Earth's evolutionary development, and it also has to do with why planet Earth is actually going through these changes. I have another book in publication called Metaphysical Revelations, Information on the Dawning of the New Age, which is like a parent book to my first one. It's an extension, and it contains detailed information about a lot of different subject matter that pertains to the human condition, and I've explained some very important truths in that book. It should be released probably in the next 3 weeks or so. It'll hit the market. The reason I wanted to get this video out is I wanted to share some really cool information with you guys. I've been doing a lot of work, a lot of research, and a lot of work, and I formulated some very powerful conclusions. I've submitted my work to MIT, Brown University, Harvard, Stanford, Cambridge, and a lot of the most prominent physics research institutions in the world. I've made some very powerful breakthroughs on evolutionary development pertaining to planet Earth and the cosmos. What I wanted to share with you guys is something real important that I've formulated some conclusions on lately, and this is how the universe was introduced. And the reason that I was able to come up with this, I know a lot of people in the world are, the most brilliant scientists are working on this. Astrophysics deals with a lot of it deals with the study of the behaviors of energy. So does quantum physics. It gets really detailed and complex, when you deal with those two fields. And it has to do with, a lot of it has to do with what happened with the Big Bang and how this universe came to be. What I've done with my work, and this is something that has been happening too for a little while, is consciousness has been incorporated into the field of physics. That is something that has been emerging for the last few years or so. It's gotten a little bit bigger, But what I've done with my work is incorporated consciousness and energy into the Big Bang theory and the introduction of the universe. And I wanted to say, the reason I say introduction of the universe, a lot of people say creation of the universe, is the universe came from another form of consciousness. And I'm going to explain that, and it's not that difficult to understand. What happened is before this universe was actually here, there was infinite consciousness everywhere. This infinite consciousness contains pure light energy and pure dark energy. And pure light energy is produced by consciousness and higher frequency vibrations. Pure dark energy is produced by consciousness and lower frequency vibrations. This is the foundation for the light and the dark. This is where the light and the dark come from. What happened is there came a point when this infinite consciousness decided to create and design. This infinite consciousness wanted to create and design the universe to facilitate its own purpose. And what happened it made a decision one day, the lower frequency vibrations of dark energy and the higher frequency vibrations of light energy started to merge. Now, the frequency vibrations are different with dark energy and light energy, and when they started to merge, it started to create polarity because they're different. When the polarity happened, when the two frequency levels started to merge, it started to cause pressure. This happened in a particular point of origin with this consciousness doing the design process. Over a period of time, what happened is this consciousness was designing and creating the universe in this particular point of origin, and that started to expand outward somewhat, and there was a very high containment of pressure. because of the design process and because it was happening over a period of time. This is actually how evolutionary development or evolution was introduced into this universe, was from the beginning of the design of the conception of the introduction of this universe, and this is how time was introduced into the universe as well. And what happened is when the design became complete, the pressure was released. The pressure was released from this particular point of origin. The design became complete for everything in the universe, and the dark and the light energy, the pressure was released from this particular point of origin, and the Big Bang occurred. This is how this universe came into introduction here, and I do a lot of extensive work on something called the Higgs field, which is universal consciousness, which is an aspect of universal consciousness, Universal consciousness is everywhere, and the Higgs field is an energy field that permeates through the entire universe. The Higgs field is made up of Higgs bosons, and the Higgs field interacts with other energy fields that contain subatomic particle activity. And what's happening, I'm going to talk about a little bit what's happening with the shift in consciousness, is pressure is being released out of the universe, and the Higgs field is actually gaining more concentration. The Higgs field is incorporated here into planet Earth also, and what's happening is every living organism is attached to the Higgs field for evolutionary purposes. The Higgs field is like the DNA it's like the DNA of the universe, because the Higgs field contains the Higgs boson was the first subatomic particle to be introduced. It was the first design for this universe. The Higgs field branched out from there when this universe was introduced, and the Higgs field contains the most powerful concentration of infinite consciousness and pure light energy and pure dark energy, and it permeates throughout the universe. And what the Higgs field does is it absorbs pure light energy and pure dark energy and consciousness from infinite consciousness. The universe is contained within this structure. And what happens with that is the Higgs field generates frequency vibrations, and it generates pure light energy and pure dark energy, and subatomic particles are created out of the Higgs field. This is the foundation for the evolution of this universe, and this is how subatomic particle activity is generated in the universe. The reason is there's so many different variations of space and time where the frequencies are coming out of, so there's a lot of different frequency levels that the subatomic particles generate out of. What's happening is the pressure is being released from the universe over a period. It's been happening over a period of time, but it's gotten very, very powerful, and the Higgs field is incorporated into planet Earth. Universal consciousness is here because Earth actually evolves with universal consciousness in space and time. The Higgs field is experiencing a higher level of concentration here. That's one of the reasons why they discovered the Higgs boson, why CERN in Geneva, Switzerland, discovered the Higgs boson. And so what's happening is the Higgs field is concentrating here more, and it's going to produce a lot more powerful level of evolutionary development and the advancement of all life here. I discovered what non-coding DNA is used for within living organisms, why it is in place for living organisms here, and it's to start absorbing molecular activity, because what's going to happen is the Higgs field is producing more subatomic particle activity. It's being more concentrated here. Actually, light and dark energy is evolving here in a much more powerful way, and what will happen is the subatomic particle activity will start transferring into living organisms here, and non-coding DNA needed to be in place to start absorbing the subatomic particle activity for complete anatomical development of the structure of the body. So that's why non-coding DNA is in place. I wanted to talk about, the shift in consciousness. Those are certain aspects that are going on right now. Some very wonderful and powerful things are happening with planet Earth, and I wanted to talk about how the universe was introduced, and kind of inform and educate people on that. And it wasn't that difficult to understand. As I said, I incorporated consciousness and energy, so it was real easy to explain to you guys on how this universe came to be. But anyway, like I said, wonderful things are happening for planet Earth, and it's because universal consciousness and the Higgs field is evolving here. It's going to produce a much more powerful and advanced state of existence for planet Earth and for all life here. So anyway, keep an eye out for my book, Metaphysical Revelations, Information on the Dawning of a New Age. It should hit Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, Books A Million, other bookstores, and online retailers in the next 3 weeks. Thanks, you guys. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Bye-bye.